Alright, it's been a while since I've done anything and or recorded anything and put it up on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. But I'm going to try again tonight. As you can see before you right here, I'm doing another clock. A little bit bigger than what I normally do. Normally I would do an 11-inch wooden round clock and then paint the numbers on it. Put a coat of resin on it, and eventually put motors and hands and everything else on it. And you've seen me post some of those in the past. Now I'm trying something a little bit bigger. For Christmas I was given some of these 18-inch rounds, and they're 1 inch thick, 18 inches in diameter on the outside here. Inside is more like about 17. I'm going to try and try something totally different. I'm going to paint it first, let it cure, let it dry. Eventually get a stencil, hopefully big enough so I can put on here and I can paint the numbers on it. At least that's what I'm anticipating right now. That could change before this is all said and done. And after I get a coat of resin on it, that's when I'll put the hole in the center. I've already got the center marked on the back side, so I will drill the hole for the center for the clock movements after I get it all painted in resin. Normally they come with a hole in them. These didn't, so I had to use my geometry on the back and find the exact center of this wooden round, which I have done. And then I will drill the hole after I paint it and after I resin it, just to as an experiment, I guess. And first time I've tried one of these this big. Tonight I'm doing basically blue colors. I've got some titanium white, but I've also got cerulean blue. That's this one. Got cerulean blue. I've got ultramarine blue. I've got light blue violet. And some Deco Art Extreme Sheen Sapphire, along with the titanium white. I'm not going to put a base coat down on this. This is all dry. This is all just primed with some primer on it. And I'm going to try it without a base coat on it just to see what happens. I'm going to do a flip cup style. I've got 2 flip cups already with my paints layered in them rather. And I'm going to see what I can do. This is a new way of doing things for me. Well, not the flip cup. I've done flip cups before, but the way I'm going to try and do it is a little bit different. So I'm going to take one, and hopefully this will go well. There. Got one flipped over. And then the other one. I'll let some of that paint drip down. I kind of rubbed the insides of these cups with some silicone spray, WD-40, just to help the paint slide down the sides. You can see that it's sliding down and almost cleaned up the inside of the cup. But I thought I'd give this a try. I thought about, well, maybe I'll do a colander pour on it. At first I thought strainer pour, but strainer pour would have been a little bit small for this size of a wooden round. Then I've tried open cups on some, but they're, I didn't want to do the same thing over and over again. So this one, instead of doing the colander bore, I decided today to try and do a flip cup on it and do it in kind of a different way of doing things altogether here. I just pull this over and let it run out. And same thing with this one. I'll pull it up over that way and let it run out. And I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'll give it a shot. Now we just start tilting it and trying to get some sort of a decent composition out of it. I don't know what it's going to come out looking like. The paints are just mixed with Floetrol. Probably about 2 to 1, 3 to 1 ratio. See, I got a lot of bubbles there. I probably ought to go ahead and torch it now, get rid of some of those bubbles. I'm not too sure whether that's a bubble or a paint booger. Oh, that's a paint booger. I'm going to do a quick torch and get rid of some of the bubbles on here before I stretch it out more. Alright, back to tilting and stretching here. You also notice that the last few times I've posted anything or done anything, I've got the camera straight above the project that I'm working on. Not doing that today because it's just doesn't seem to work out too well for me. That one spot right there just seems to be one big old paint booger in there. I'm sorry this is not staying within the frame here. Maybe if I turn it a little bit this way and so you can see the paint movement. Trying to get it over to the edges. So going to be a big clock. Get it back down to these other sides now. Sorry about not having it in the view here. Maybe if I turn a little bit, I can get a little bit more into the view of the camera. I don't do these as tutorials because I'm really not good enough to teach anybody anything. I just do them to show people what I do. I enjoy it. I haven't been doing much lately because, well, because of the holidays for one thing. We had Christmas and New Year's and everything else, and for a while there I kind of lost my motivation, and I'm sure some of you that do this kind of painting have little stints like that where you just don't feel motivated to do something. And I kind of went through that. Finally, when I got these for Christmas, my stepdaughter got these for me, I decided, well, it's time for me to work on experimenting with a large clock as opposed to the smaller ones. I'll probably still do some of the other ones, the 11-inch round ones, but I wanted to try a big one here. Some spots that I missed. It looks kind of cool. Doesn't look all that bad, really. Wipe my hands off here a little bit. Go around and catch some of the drips. Do another torch on it. And look for any more bubbles and imperfections that I want to get rid of. Get some of the drips off down here. I've got the back taped a little bit around the edges. Same way I tape canvases when I do them. I know my head's probably right in the way. Big old ugly head, a black hat. All right, another torch here. Get the big boy out. And let's take a look for hairs and fuzzes and things that I don't want there. A little one right there. Something. Might have been a paint bugger. Oh. Let's see. Look around this side. I'm gonna have to get in the way here for just a second, folks. Pardon me. Let's just turn it here a little bit so I can see the other edges. And they look pretty good. Except for this one little spot right here. I don't know why that looks like that. Touch it up here just a little bit with some other paint. And these cells that you see in here, I didn't really try and, I wasn't going for cells. I didn't put any silicone into the paints as I mixed them. And this is as a result of me putting the WD-40 inside the cup to help the paint slide down the inside of the cup a little bit more. So that's why you're seeing some little cells pop up here. Some little white spots there. Paint didn't get on. I see a lot of little things that like little makes me think there's hairs or something in there, but I don't think that's what it is. It's just might be the porosity of the wood. I do worry about doing wood rounds because I've had some that have warped. They do flatten back out again after a little while. You let them set for a couple of weeks, and they do flatten back out, at least enough to where they hang on the wall and they look cool on a wall. This will eventually, once it dries, like I said, get resined, and I'll have to drill a hole in the center of it here and put a motor in it and get some longer hands than what I normally have. Normally I've got like 5-inch hands. In this case it's going to be closer about, and well, looks like probably a good 8-9 inches on the length of the hands to go around, because this is such a big clock. Those I got to find. I know I've seen some at Hobby Lobby, and I can look on Amazon and find different ones there. It just depends on where I end up going to get them. But that's a little bit down the road yet. I don't need them just yet. But I think that looks kind of neat. I get some of these, my trash out of the way here. Alright, I'm going to take my gloves off, bring the camera down and give you some close-ups here. So just bear with me for a minute. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Bring this in and get some close-up of it. Got some neat looking cells. Like I said, I wasn't really trying to do that. It wasn't my original intent. You can see some of that sapphire sparkling in there. Can't really say just yet what I think it looks like. After a while of looking at it, I'll pick out certain things. Done that with, got a couple paintings in my living room right now that are hung up there that my wife and I were just looking at today, and we found different things in them that we hadn't seen before. I'm sure a lot of you have run across things like that. The more you look at a painting, the more things you can pick out, although they weren't planned. But that's what it's like, looking at clouds and seeing different things. Look at it. Extreme sheen sapphire just sparkling in there. Get up here and get a little bit overall look on it. Let me turn this off. Wouldn't get so much of a glare there. That looks kind of cool right there. Just a whole line of cells right up through there. And some right there. Just little lines of them. Cells within cells within cells. But anyhow, almost doesn't want to fit into the frame of my phone here. That's what I did tonight. Today is the 5th of January, 2022. I hope the new year's been good for all you people so far. And I hope it just continues to get better. We need for everything to be better this year. But I hope you like it. Let me know what your opinion of it is in the comments. I take anything good, bad, or indifferent. Always learn from others. But I think it looks pretty cool. All right, well, y'all have a great evening. See you next time around. Hopefully it won't be as much of a lag between paintings here as it has been. Get back into it and get some more things posted. But have a great evening, and God bless. Well, finally got this big clock done. I've been working on it for about a month now. It's an 18-inch round, 1-inch thick wooden panel, painted with a open cup pour style. It got one coat of epoxy resin on it. Just finished it up tonight. Trying to see if I can get down to where it'll show up some of the glittering in the one of the paint colors I use is a Deco Art Extreme Sheen Sapphire, or dark sapphire actually. And you can see it in some of the other colors where it sparkles, like right in there. It's not a large sparkle. I mean, it's not as prominent as the 24 karat gold, but this dark sapphire looks pretty cool. A couple shades of blue and white. Like I said, it's got a coat of epoxy resin on it. The entire diameter is 18 inches. It's about 16 out to the edge of the numbers, or about to the end of the minute hand down here, or a little bit shorter than that. Right about here is about 16 inches. Out here is 18-inch diameter. This one doesn't have a second hand on this movement, but I finally finished it up. I've been waiting on getting the right motor and the right length hands. That minute hand is 8 inches long. That's how big this thing is. In fact, I'll put a ruler here next to it and you can see. Eight inches to the center. So that's how big this monster clock is. I've been used to doing 11-inch round clocks. This one's an 18-inch round. It was the first one I've done this big. I think it came out pretty nice. I'm going to hang it up here in the house and replace this one that I've got hung up there now that I did a while ago. That one's still for sale in case anyone's interested. All you got to do is send me a message and I'll be glad to work with you on it. That's an 11-inch round clock. It's been hanging here in the living room for a month or two now. And I'm going to replace this one and put this one in place of it. So we'll see what it's going to look like. Thanks for watching. You got any questions or any concerns, any comments? By all means, make your comments. I don't care if they're good or bad. I'll listen to them all. And appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot. Bye.